Bless me, Father. Bless me indeed. Allow me to expand my territory. Father God, I ask that you be with me. Keep me away from harm and evil and not allow me to bring harm or evil upon anyone else, Father God. Prayer of Jabez. In your name shall we pray. Amen. Yes, indeed. Another Sunday. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I hope all of you guys have had a wonderful week. I hope you guys are continuing to follow the instructions of the booklet. I hope you guys are keeping up with the reading. It's very important. Some magnificent things are happening. I can tell you from my standpoint, some magnificent things are happening. Just going through those affirmations. Remember, it's going to bring you a plan. It's not going to bring you the money. It's going to bring you a plan in which you are able to go out and receive the money, right? It's going to bring you that plan. So don't just think that it's going to drop the money in your lap. No, it's going to bring you a worthy idea. And I'm just, before I even go into the quote of the day, I wanted to share with you, like I had a sit down meeting with a guy. When I told you last week, I said something came to my mind in a flash, and I had a chance to sit down with the guy who's importing that product, and me and him had a lovely conversation. And man, like whenever those things come, act upon them right now. Go get them. I made that phone call. Well, I sent that email, and I was just waiting. They got back with me, and they said the guy's going to get back with you. He's in Miami, and I went on Miami Beach and sat down with the guy. So it's just like you have to, when these avenues open up from you doing this stuff, go make it happen. Don't just sit back on it. Don't procrastinate. If they want to set up a meeting, try to see if you can get it the next day instead of the next week, right? This is about our well-being. This is about us bringing things towards us that is going to help us get to that next level of which we're saying that we want, right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I can tell you that even with that 369, I've been doing that. I got 8 days of just writing that stuff, going back and forth. And I'm very serious about it. So if I'm asking you to do it, best believe I'm doing it myself, right? And you have to be that way. It's important. The teacher can't. I'm one of those guys. When the coach used to tell us to run, I used to be like, man, you need to get your behind out here and run with us. Well, you know what? I became that coach, right? I challenge my kids. You guys want to try me? Guess what? I'm gonna get out here and run with you, because I'm gonna stay in shape with you. All right, that's part of my regimen. So the quote of the day says, the first business asset you should invest in is yourself. Huge, right? The first business asset you should ever invest in is yourself. We are the biggest investments to ourselves, right? And that comes with personal development. We should want to get better. We should want to see our days get better each and every day, all right? And here's the thing. You can't have bad days. Don't speak that into your life. There are no bad days, right? We don't create bad days. We create excellent days. No mediocre days. We create excellent days. Don't tell nobody I'm having a bad day. No. That doesn't come out your mouth, right? You control that. That's number one. We got to be careful of how we are placing spells upon ourselves. And we call that spelling, right? We cast spells upon ourselves by the words that we speak to ourselves. And if you're not speaking life and health into yourself, how do you expect for that to come to you, right? So the second portion of it says, your life only gets better when you do. Work on yourself and the rest will follow. See, if we constantly stay in the place of working on ourselves, working on those weaknesses that we have, the procrastination, the low self-esteem, all of those different things, that helps us get better so that we can go out and talk to some people, so that we can type that email, so that we can go on that business meeting, so that we can jump into the realm that makes us most comfortable, right? So we want to be working on ourselves constantly. Don't get into the jibber jabber of who did what. Like, one of the things I'm gonna ask you guys is to really be aware of the gossip talk. If it doesn't really bring value to you, right? You don't want to sit there and be gossiping with people about somebody else when you can have that same a valuable conversation with that person about some business, right? Leave the gossip alone. Why are we talking about this person? Is that going to bring us any well-being? That is utmostly true, right? When you know your true worth, you don't need anyone to confirm it, right? When you know your true worth, you don't need anyone to confirm it. You know who you are. You validate yourself, right? You validate yourself, and that's by knowing your value and understanding what your value is. It's you add to that each and every day when you're depositing into yourself. And this is what we're asking with these steps. One of the things that I've been studying this course for quite some time. And one of the things he talked about is turn a glass over when you find out what the secret is. And I really just found out what the secret is, right? The secret is, I'm gonna tell you guys, because you guys are on the class with me, the secret is repetition. Saying this stuff to yourself over and over until you bleed it into your system, which makes you get up and takes the action. It makes you get up and take the action, right? And then you continue to follow up, because once you reach that big goal that you set for yourself, now you're going after the next one. You have the self-confidence to go after the next one and go after the next one, right? So with us rolling into chapter 8 and chapter 9, chapter 8 talked about decision, right? And I think I went over a little bit of this last week. You turn the AC up, Lord. It talked about decision, right? Chapter 8, the mastery of procrastination is decision. Make a decision. A lot of us are indecisive, right? We tend to give. I ask people what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? You make the decision. You make the decision, right? You can utilize a counsel, but you're going to ultimately make this decision, because guess what? Whether it's good or bad, you're going to have to walk through it. You are going to have to walk through it, whether it's good or bad. So you want it to be on you and not on the other person. All right. One of the things that I say to myself that helps me get up and get the things done right now, do it now, do it now, do it now. I'm going to do it now. All right. So you have to do it now. Do it now. One of the things Napoleon Hill talked about, he speaks about interviewing hundreds of men that had the opportunity to become wealthy, right? And what he noticed is each one of these guys that he interviewed, they came to decisions quickly, right? Even when I was studying a portion of it, when he was talking to Andrew Carnegie, when Carnegie had given him, asked him to follow through on this philosophy, Andrew Carnegie had a clock on this guy, right? He said after a minute, if a person couldn't make a decision in a minute, they weren't worthy of carrying on this decision. And he had interviewed hundreds of men before to carry on this philosophy. So in understanding that, you're on a time clock to make a decision, right? Not making a decision is making a decision. Let me say that again, not making a decision is making a decision. And you have to understand that wholeheartedly, right? So the majority of people who fail to get things done are easily influenced by people's opinion. And I just said this, stop asking people what they think and do your own thinking. We have to understand that it comes a point in time that we have to go out and just do it. Nike, just do it. And whatever outcome, live with it and then continue to go on. But just doing it allows us to gain the self-confidence to say, I can get to the next tier. Don't allow the opinions of others to hold you back from doing what you want to do, right? How many times have you asked a person something, or maybe even a relative? Relatives, people that are closest to you, those are the people that will judge you the most. And those are the people that will tell you, nah, I don't think you should do that. But deep down in your gut is telling you, know what, this is something I've been wanting to do it. Right? The people closer to you will always question you. Well, if you know it's something that you want wholeheartedly, if you know it's something that you want wholeheartedly, do it. Right? Never mind what they think, because guess what? In the end, if you do it right, they're going to applaud you. Man, you made a right decision. You know, and that it's so true from the standpoint, I can go through a couple of different examples. There's a car recently that I bought. My wife was like, "Oh, why you buying that car?" But at this, yes, you did. And even with that, it was just like, you know what? Once she saw it, she was like, "Oh, that's pretty nice," right? So as a human being, as a single, as you're your own entity, even in a relationship, right? Consult with them, but also make the decision. You know what? Because ultimately it's going to benefit what you guys have going on. You know what's going to be right for you. You know what's right for you. I don't know what's right for you, but you do. I know what's right for me. I know what's right for my household, right? Most of these people who are projecting it says most of these people who you come in contact with that try to steer you off from the goal, they're projecting their fears out on you because they can't do it or they don't want to do it. So you have to understand that a lot of times people are afraid themselves and they're saying, don't do it because they simply can't see themselves doing it. So you have to understand what it is that you want, how you want to do it, and just go forward. Go forward. All right. So now we get into like keep your own counsel. When you talk about keeping your own counsel, that's talking about keeping the people who are around you. And even with that, we talk about making your decisions because now you have a bunch of mentors, or a bunch of people that you trust in that decision. You take all of the information in and then you make a corrective decision for your life. It's that simple. Don't ask people about what they think. Opinions are the cheapest commodity. Everybody has one and they will flop them on you at any time. Look at social media, right? See somebody put up a post or something and everybody got an opinion about it. And I keep my opinions to myself because I know, like I just said, they're a cheap commodity. You don't have to be opinionated about what people have and what they're doing. People just want to talk or hear themselves talk at that point in time, right? The only people you should take in consideration are those of your mastermind group. Those are the people who you've built together to bring around to make this thing that you said you want to happen. So you shouldn't be discussing any of your plans with people who aren't in your mastermind group, right? We have to be able to utilize our own brain and the brain around us that we've built with that mastermind team, which creates one brain. Utilize your own brain. A lot of times we give it up and that's a lack of confidence. It comes in a lack of confidence. And that's why we have to go through that self-confidence creed. That's why you have to say it over and over. And that's why you have to say your affirmations and you have to affirm to yourself, I'm making the right decision. I'm making the right decision. I'm moving in the right direction, right? This is right for me. Tell yourself, convict it to yourself. So when it does blow up, when it does get to the height that you want it, you know you've made the right decision. And if you didn't make the right decision, you've learned from that, right? I told you a loss isn't a loss, it's a lesson. And the lesson turns into a blessing because I'm going to keep going even if I took a loss that turned into a lesson, all right? So with understanding keeping your own counsel, it says, when needing to get facts or information from others to help you, make a decision, go about it in a way without disclosing your purpose. You know why you don't need to disclose your purpose? One of the reasons why you don't need to disclose your purpose to people are because people are always constantly looking for a come up themselves. So you have to have an understanding of how am I going to put this information or ask this information to someone where I don't disclose my total purpose of what I'm doing, right? And then again, you have people out there that try to shoot your information down. People are information thieves, right? But guess what? If you're giving the information wholeheartedly, like we're doing today, because it's about a family and us wanting to learn. There's nothing to steal. It's all here in the book, right? And if you read it, all we're doing is reiterating. We're going over it in a way that you understand it, going over the meat and potatoes, right? So, and understanding that, you have to select the right people to be around you, people that you trust, right? Not idea thieves. Like, have you ever told somebody an idea and they beat you to it, right? That's what we keep our mouths shut. It says you have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth for a reason. To see and hear more than you speak. You got to be able to be closed-lipped sometimes. A lot of times we get so excited, we just want to tell the world everything that we're doing and how we're doing it. Talking too much will expose your plan, right? Please know everyone is not for you. These people aren't for you. So don't expose your plan outside of your mastermind group. That is one of that's real information. You guys got to understand that. Don't expose your plan to people who are not in your mastermind group. It's real. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. When you tell the world what you intend to do, you telling them by showing it. And there's a story that goes behind this, even with me, right? Even when I was developing the school, my wife used to be like, always advertise. We came to a point that we failed a couple of different times. And I was like, no, let me get to the point where I have the school up and then I can advertise it because it's just like, oh, I've advertised it, then I failed. I knew the failures were going to come. I just didn't know how. So it's almost like the people ask you, you started that school yet? Or you started that school yet? And some of it being underlining, right? Underlining hate. Like, you started that school yet? Oh, you start, well, when you gonna get that school started? Don't worry about it, right? When it comes, it's going to come. So you guys have to understand that. Sometimes you don't have to advertise in the beginning, right? Get the things done first, and then you advertise, because now you're open for business, right? So when you're open for business, it allows you to advertise to the fullest. You know when your grand opening is coming. You know when you need to do these things. So be mindful of who we're speaking our ideas to. Be mindful who we're interacting with, right? Because all you have to say is a couple of words, and it's like, ding. A person like me, I pick up on ideas, but I'm not trying to steal I'm not trying to steal anyone's ideas, right? I'm more so into sharing ideas with people. For me, it's about how do we all collectively work together? If that's not in the realm of what I'm doing, I'm not going to chase it. And not really, I'm telling you, I'm not going to chase it, because it's not what I want to do. I'm going to root you on, or if it's something that I can invest in, great. But if it's not what I want to do, trust me, I'm going to tell you, hey, let's get it done. How can I be of help, of assistance to you? So understand that. Also know that people are wise. They can pick up on the things that you are speaking about. People are always looking for an opportunity. External laws of nature, right? And let me back up a little bit. It talks about, remember, thoughts backed with a strong desire will transform itself into the physical equivalents. Our thoughts backed with a strong desire will translate into its physical equivalents. And with that understood, desire isn't just the end be all, right? Because you can have a strong desire, but if you don't put any action behind that desire, it becomes a wish at that point in time. We don't want to be out here wishing. We don't want to be out here daydreaming. We want to be people of action, right? So, and with that understanding, this comes through planning and action. We talk about external laws, and I actually went and I had to do some research. You know, what are some of the natural laws? And I knew them. But natural laws are laws that are based upon principles and truths. Laws that are based upon principles and truth, harmonized with due to knowledge and understanding. All right, these laws are universal. They can apply anywhere in the universe to anything. So this philosophy that we're learning can apply to anything. You can utilize it for anything. We can utilize it in any field. We can utilize it anywhere. All right, that's why it's so valuable, because we could utilize it, and there are a bunch of natural laws that we're learning. All right, what are natural laws? Natural laws are cause and effect. Right? Not effect then cause, but cause and effect. You do something, you get a result, whether it's good or bad, right? Effect follows cause. For every action, there's an equal or opposing reaction. right? Whether that's good or bad. The law of the law of attraction, the energy you bring or give is the energy you attract. The energy that you give or bring is the energy that you attract. And we have to understand that. Because a lot of us, if we bring in the negative energy and then we're expecting people to be nice to us at some point in time, and then you start crabbing about, oh, this person customer service, then I go back and be like, hey, you got to understand that energy that you was giving off wasn't too pleasant as well, right? So you have to understand, and some people don't even can't step outside of themselves and say, you know what, I was wrong, right? Some people can't step outside of themselves and say, you know what, I was wrong. I did give off some crazy energy, because they just expect things to be absolutely, things don't work like that. So we got to be patient with people, and you got to be patient with yourself. Everything that we're learning, guess what? I'm not expecting you to just do it. I know there's a process. I know that there's a process. So I'm going to be patient with you guys. I want you guys to learn it, but the faster you put it in the process, the faster it's going to start to happen for you. So understand that, right? Energy flows where your attention goes. So if you're saying, I want this one thing, I want this, but then you're doing something completely else, different, that's different from what it is that you want, you got to understand that you're not going to receive that and what you're looking for, because you've taken the energy off of that soul desire, and now I place my energy in a whole different place. Now, and let me clarify that. But if it's something that's along the lines of what you're already doing, that is okay, because it's a stepping stone to get you there. But if it's completely off the track, don't do it, right? It's completely off track, don't do it. As you think, feel, and act, so you shall be. As you think, feel, and act, so you shall be. There are times when during my leave of absence from school or from work, I would dress up around the house. Why? Why are you getting dressed? Because I got to feel like I'm at work. Act as if, because if you don't act as if, you put on the relaxed clothes, you're going to relax. That's just my mental, right? If I put on the relaxed clothes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down and relax. So sometimes you got to dress up in the house. If you're doing work from the house, if you're a person that works from the house, dress up, look good. You don't have to impress anybody in the house. You're impressing yourself. You're impressing your subconscious mind to get these things done. And when you dress up, you tend to work a little bit better anyway. So put yourself in that realm, right? Put yourself in that realm. Look good, feel good, play good, right? Work good, work even better. Understand what it is. Another natural law, karma, or it can be called a moral law, right? You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow, right? You can't sow without reaping. So we have to understand that whatever energy that we're giving, it's going to come back. Whatever effort that we're giving, it's going to come back to us. So here's one thing: you can't give 50% and expect 100% back out of it. There's no 50-50 love. It's 100%, 100%. You got to be all in or all out, right? Either you're going to go all in or don't do it at all. Give your best effort. At least you can say, I gave my very best effort towards this thing, right? You get out of it what you put in. We have to understand that. The golden rule. What is the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Do you treat people the same way you want to be treated? That's a huge question. Do you treat people how you want to be treated? Right? If I see the janitor, I'm going to treat the janitor like I treat the president of the company. I'm going to speak. I'm going to be cordial. Right? I want to get to know everyone. I want to get to know everyone. That's huge. Right? Then we go into people and talking about indecision being a habit. People are indecisive A lot of us are indecisive. We got to learn to be decisive about what it is that we want. Don't make it your habit, right? Usually, and indecisiveness is usually formed when we are young. And you got to be careful of telling yourself, I'm confused. No, I'm confused. Or I don't like, stop feeding yourself that information. I don't know. You do know. Make a decision. This comes back into making a decision. So when you feed yourself those subconscious things, you feed yourself those things subconsciously, that's what comes to you. You're not quick to make a decision. You're always looking for someone's approval. We don't want to have anyone's approval when it's go time. This is go season, folks. Right? Understand, indecisiveness will hold us back. We need to teach our kids the importance of having a definite purpose in life. Why is that important? Having a definite purpose in life allows us to get to that point a lot faster. What I tell people is that you can be wealthy in anything. You can be the wealthy trash man because you started on the back of the truck. Now you own the company. Now you got a whole bunch of garbage trucks that are throughout the city. So it don't matter where you start. It's about how you finish and where you go and where you see yourself at. You can be wealthy in doing anything in this wonderful world. And then when you stick to that one thing, guess what? Now you've made enough money to start making investments. Now you can make the investments. Find out what it is that you want to do, stick to it, do it, and then you can make the investments because now I have my platform. I have a platform that I can roll from right now. And then I can step out and make those investments. That's huge. A lot of times what we hear the cliche of wealthy people have 7 different streams of income. Well, you got to get one first. You have to get one of them first and be great at that one. And then you can start investing in those other things. Or then you can move into the other pattern of those other things. That's huge. So don't take it for, oh, I got to spread. No, you're spreading yourself thin when you don't have that one goal that you've accomplished yet. And now you're just trying to get into everything. It doesn't work like that. All right? Do the thing, do it well, conquer it, and then be able to spread your wings. All right? It's huge in us growing. So you have to know that. One of the things that Napoleon Hill talked about as well, schools should not accept or enroll students that haven't declared a major. And this is talking about college. You know why? Because guess what? A lot of kids go to college and they don't know what they want to become. That's huge. So ultimately, you're taking a whole bunch of classes that don't mean anything because they got general ed, and then you go into your major after that. And if you don't know what you're going to spend 5, 6 years in college doing, it's crazy. 90% of the people that go to college, 90% of the people that go to college don't have a job in the field that they got a degree in. That's huge. So if we know what we're going to college for, right? Or if we jump into a vocation, which is specialized knowledge, in which we talked about last week, when we jump into that specialized knowledge, we're able to get there a lot quicker because we made a valid decision, right? This is not the time when our parents were saying, hey, go to school so you can get a good job, no. Find out what it is that you want to do. And that stuff can happen right now, right? They were only telling us what they knew. We're in the information age. So being in the information age, we can do a lot more. You have to be willing to dig this information up. You have to be willing to ask questions. You have to be willing to cut ties with different people to get where you need to be. All right? Declare a major early if you're deciding to go to college. 98% of the people in the world are holding jobs that they don't really like to be on or want to be on. 98%, that's a huge number. 98%. So think about it. All right? Are you one of those people? I know I was one of those people at one point in time. So you have to understand what it is that you want. Am I doing the right thing? And if it's not, be willing to make a change. Definiteness of decisions requires courage. You have to make a definite decision on your life, or somebody else will. You have to make a definite decision on your life, or someone else will. You have to understand that, right? Teach yourself and your kids the habit of making definite decisions. So if we don't start to teach our kids, guess what? They fall into that same realm of doing the same thing that we did. We want to collapse time for our kids and our families, right? You want your kids to be better than you. You want your kids to be in a position where, let's say if you created this business, they can carry it on. But that's helping them. We have to be in a position. That's the only way we build this thing that we call generational wealth, and understanding what that generational wealth is. All right. So number one thing, make a decision and go with it. Whether it's right or wrong at the time, you will figure it out. You figure it out on the way anyway, and you're able to correct the situation as you go. Make a decision. Stop sitting back on the sideline talking about put me in, coach. Running the game without coach telling you, get come on, coach. I told you I was coming in here to play, right? Don't sit on the sideline, man. They won't put me in. Put yourself in the game. Put yourself in the game, and you put yourself in the game by being confident, right? As we roll into chapter 9, we talk about persistence, being persistent at what it is that you want. Persistence. It talks about the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. The sustained effort necessary to induce faith. It's the 8th step towards riches, right? It's the basis. The basis of persistence is willpower. You got to have a strong will. The combination of willpower, and desire will get you what you want every time, I promise you. The combination of willpower and desire will get you what you want every time. Why do I say that? Because if you have a strong will and a strong desire, there's nothing that can stop you from doing what you want to do. Nothing, not even that bad part of you, right? There's nothing that can stop you from doing what you want to do. You become unstoppable at that point in time, because I got a strong will and a strong desire. Willpower plus persistence plus desire equals the attainment of the object that you're looking for. Let me go over that again. Willpower plus persistence plus desire equals the attainment of your desire. Your desire is the outcome, but I got to have a strong will. I got to be persistent in the pursuit, and I have to have that strong desire that gets me going to have all of these other things. So in understanding that, as I start to combine these different forces, it moves me in the way to be unstoppable. Don't stop yourself. We are our best friend and our worst enemy. Us, the person within, right? So in understanding that, that helps us to move in a better space. Either you're going to let yourself be conquered by you, or you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to suppress that low vibration, Mario, and I'm going to step into a higher vibration, and I'm going to move. I'm going to move throughout the calling, right? To build a fortune, we're going to have to apply all of the 13 principles that we're learning here. This philosophy, we're going to have to apply all 13 principles of this philosophy, not just one. So let me tell you what, let me give you an instant what this is like. This is like baking a cake. When you bake a cake, you have certain ingredients. If you leave the eggs out of the cake, that cake, you can't leave any one of these. It's a step process. So don't leave any of the ingredients out saying, no, I'm just going to use this one because this is the one that I think is the best for me. It doesn't work like that. You have to use all of these steps. I didn't write the philosophy. I am just giving it back to you in the word, right? So you have to understand it. Are you following the first? My question to you, are you following the steps as they've been written? Right? Have you written your statement of desire? Number one, have you written your statement of desire? Number two, are you saying it when you wake up in the morning and before you go to sleep at night? And then I gave you some direction to say, you know what? Do it about 12 times. If you haven't reached the 12th time, that's okay. If you're on 3 or 4, that's even better. But the minimum is 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. You have to do the minimum, right? We have to at least get to the minimum in order to get to the maximum. So start. If you haven't started and you forgetting and you get into your day, I'm gonna tell you, once we get into our day, we're off and running. Spend the time as soon as you wake up, dive into what it is and say it as a prayer. Say it as a prayer. Put it on yourself and move in that direction, right? Everyone should be saying, everyone should at least be thankful to God for waking up every day. That's number one. And then let's go move into the direction. Now say what you want. Hey, God, I'm looking for this. Help me out with this, right? So we have to understand it. Repeat the steps with unwavering belief. Repeat these steps with unwavering belief. When we talk about unwavering belief, that's saying, that's not telling yourself, you know what, this stuff ain't working. I'm gonna stop doing this. If you read the book, there's a price to pay, and it doesn't cost any money. We're talking about affirming to yourself over and over. We're talking about affirming to yourself over and over, over and over. We're talking about talking to you. I'm talking to me. You're talking to you. If you don't want to put the work in for yourself, how do you expect these things to come? You have to put in the work, right? If we don't do the work, don't expect the results. There is a price to pay. You have to drum it up. You have to drum yourself up to move in that direction. And I'm telling you, just because I'm teaching it, I'm learning that much more. I'm actually putting myself in a position to win. I'm glad that you guys are on here. And I'm glad that you can win with me, right? Because we're all going to win. Because I want to see you guys win. Because and seeing other people win, I like to rejoice in your winnings. Trust me, I'm that person. Give people a chance to, I want this at this point in time, is there anybody that would like to go over their statement of desire? I want to open up the floor for anyone to go over their statement of desire or an affirmation, right? We're going to take a few minutes out before I finish. Is there any person that wants to go over their statement of desire or their affirmation, or even speak about how they have been benefiting from going over affirmations or going over their statement of desire, right? We can talk about the benefits. Is there anyone? All you have to do is raise your hand. Miss Nakira, okay. And we'll take about 2 to 3 people.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you today?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
So, and just reciting and just believing and just having the faith that things will show up as they need to for me to continue to elevate and grow. Some stuff is just showing up, and again, I'm releasing control. I'm just surrendering, and like information is showing up. I was emailed a opportunity to speak on a radio show the other night on Wednesday.
Yes.
And about alcoholism, and it was alcoholism month, and they found me on Psychology Today. And I did it, and I had so much fun doing it, and it just came like they reached out, and it's just I have an opportunity to speak on the 21st at an event. They've reached out to me, so it's just like you said, I'm putting in the work. I'm saying my affirmations, praying, just trusting, believing, doing my part, and it's like really coming back like crazy. Like even money, I got a check in the mail from my insurance company. I don't know where, how, what, but I'm like, awesome. It was $600 or something. I'm like, I could use that.
Yes, indeed.
So it's just showing up, and I'm just grateful. My son, I'm trying to get him into another school. Couple of schools interested, they reached out, so it's just everything is flowing as it needs to, and I'm just so grateful that I'm not putting a woe is me or acting like a victim. I'm just like creating the energy that I need for it to come back to me, and it is. So it definitely is working, and I'm just grateful, and I thank you.
Thank you. You know why? Because people who need to hear that testimony, and don't be afraid to share your stories, folks. because it energizes. I got the chill bumps. You know why? Because like this is a part of what we're doing. This is a part of what we're doing. I want to hear from you guys, right? I saw Miss Bernice. She had her hand up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear. How are you today?
I am excellent. I hope all of you all are doing excellent. I'm here to be a witness because I know it works. I've been practicing it ever since we started doing that personal development at the school coach, and I'm telling you, y'all who not doing it, you're not gonna get a chance to get all the excitement and reap the benefits if you're not putting it into practice. And I was one, I think I said it before, that it was not easy for me to get into a flow with it, but I did it anyway. And when I tell you so, just recently, that part when they were telling us to write out the definite plan, even if we don't know how we're going to do it yet. But when
Yes.
you write it out, everything comes to you and you'll be blown away about how fast it comes. So I've been working on a particular thing. Coach, my whole thing is literacy.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, new clients coming. I got invited to do 3 different podcasts to talk about illiteracy. I'm being featured in a magazine to talk about what I do and my goals. I just had to finish the interview yesterday. I got invited to do a 30-minute spot on something called the Now Network, talking about my story, how I got started, and it's really, when you're talking about your definite purpose, what is your purpose? And coach, what you were saying as far as don't focus on the money will come, but
Correct.
whatever that purpose is, that's what brings it to you. My purpose, because I did not have that money mindset. I was one of those people that wasn't necessarily thinking about money. It was like, oh well, I don't really need money, but that's not true. All of the good that I want to do, the more money that I have, the more good I can do with it. And so all of these practices have helped me to shift my mindset, to really develop my purpose. And I didn't always know what to do, but now I have so many things that I know I can do. And it only came from from starting the practice, from doing it. And the blessings flow, they're overflowing and they keep coming. They keep coming. And I'm here for all of it. And I'm grateful. And I'm
Thank
just
you.
telling you all, do it.
Thank
Just
you.
do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Next one up, we'll have Garthian. Garthian Muhammad.
Grand evening, Chief. How we doing?
I'm doing well in yourself. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, brother. I really am. First and foremost, take the opportunity to thank you for doing this and being consistent
Thank you.
with it. And even though we've done it, of course, together, when you do it a second and or third time, the more you do, the more it comes to you, right? And so, aside from the school, you know about, right? With us working together. Aside from that, of course, me and Mrs. Muhammad, with the relationship piece that we do. So from last week to this week, we've made some huge strides. And I'm talking about the doing part.
Yes,
So for
indeed.
me, the personal stuff we talked about before, I procrastinate on, right? And so in the book, it talks about procrastination.
Yes.
So we actually had to put some things in play. And I saw Ms. Claudiane say, well, write it down, right? So I wrote it down. And we actually put together what we're going to do, got with Coach Seymour on website and some other things. I actually just hired out somebody from Fiverr to be able to do some things. So now it's really about putting those pieces together and actually knowing that it's going to happen once you do your part. If I don't do my part, they say faith without work is dead.
Yes,
So
indeed.
it's great for us to be on here, and it's great for me to know all that I know. It's another thing to actually put it into practice. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it happen. We have some things coming up that's going to be big, and we're just going to keep pushing. And
Yes,
as much as
indeed.
I know, once we put our heads together as part of a mastermind, we know what happens. We live it. There's one
Yes.
thing and that's from the school vantage point, we actually live and see, going from 17 students. And I'm telling you all, from working with Mr. Smith and Miss Claudiane, that whole manifestation piece, some of you all may be on here thinking it doesn't work. when we sit together and we talk a lot about the things that we're going to do in the school, and we actually see it happen, 17 students to 22 students to 65 students to over 100 students, with more to come. So I'm telling you, as a bearer of witness from the school vantage point, that what he's talking about, it works when you work it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And one of the things that Mr. Muhammad was talking about, like when we sit down and we put our heads together, we make that mastermind group, things just appear quickly rather than us just trying to do it one at a time, right? Those things happen because now we've created that one mind, right? All of us putting our heads together has created that one mind to bring these things together that much faster, you know? So like for me, it was very important to have everyone around me doing some of the same things, which was going to help everyone advance, right? And that's what it's about. Everyone in our home should be on this. Our kids, our spouses, everyone should be on this. And if you can't get them on it, start doing it yourself. Be a way shower, right? Show by demonstration. And when you're able to show by demonstration, it leads to participation. Trust me on that. I have Miss Claudienne who wants to come on.
So I'm excited. Whether you get a mute. So I can use you. So I think it's his computer. He has to mute. He has to mute his computer. Hello, hello. You have to mute your computer. Hello? All right, so I'm excited because I've been looking for a personal assistant and I've been getting resumes to come in, and I finally yesterday or the day before, or maybe 2 days ago, said exactly what I was looking for. And it just appeared, like it just appeared. The young lady wanted to be mentored by me in real estate, but she was with a different company. Actually, she was with the same company in a different team. She was with the same company, same EXP company, but through a different outlet. And so, and I don't, you can't really intermingle. So I said, you know what? Maybe I can use her as my personal assistant. She's young, she's vibrant, she knows TikTok, she knows Reels, she knows how to do Excel, she knows how to knock out tasks. And so, here I am, I put out this advertisement, but I really didn't specify in my mind what I was looking for in terms of quality or specific things that I wanted from this particular person. And I tell y'all, the minute I had identified exactly from the detail from beginning to end what I was looking for, she became my assistant. And I tell you what, she's starting on Monday. I'm excited because if I can take some tasks off of me, I can help my buddy over there, Mrs. Smith.
We can't hear you.
You're still on mute, Mr. Smith. Unmute your computer.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Sir.
Good. So one of the things that I wanted to say was pretty much that she's a wonderful helpmate, and this is how I've gotten this far in life. Another book that we're reading was called The Richest Man That Ever Lived, and it talked about reading one proverb a day. And even in Proverbs, you see that the woman is a crown to a man's head, right? And that's one of my favorite Proverbs. But I understand what my wife is to me, right? And she helps me, and she helps me get over the pits and valleys, and I value that, and I value every woman from mother to all of you women, that are out there. Women have helped me get to where I need to be in life, and that's no discredit to men, but women, you guys are strong. Continue to push on, and God bless. So we're gonna go right to Miss Carla next.
Hey, everyone. Hope you all have an amazing Sunday. First and foremost, I definitely just want to thank you for, just having this mastermind group. To be honest, I had the Think and Grow Rich book. And when I came across, you introduced the mastermind version of it, I don't know, it just did something different. Like, it's like, okay, I can do this. I can go through this. I can, read, I can highlight, I can really dive into the book the way I want to. And that's what I've been doing. I don't have like a big testimony per se, but my big testimony that I can say is that I'm continuously following the instructions. I'm continuously reading. I'm continuously taking notes, and I'm continuously believing and changing my mind from, that poverty mindset, to be honest, that's what I had, to that money conscious mindset. And that's where I'm reaching, to go. And while still being focused on my purpose, and knowing that whatever my purpose is, it's going to push me and it's going to drive me to see and be that woman that I'm becoming and that I see. So I definitely just want to thank you just for the opportunity. This is free. And a lot of people say people don't really take advantage of things that are free. I myself have really taken advantage of this opportunity of your time. And I just want to thank you just for having this, mastermind that is absolutely amazing. And I'm just thankful and grateful for your time, your wife time, putting it together, everything, and just being consistent. So thank you.
Yes, indeed. Drop some fire, because she just gave a wonderful testimony, y'all, right? She had to get back into the book, something that just rehashed her learning. So that is a wonderful testimony, right? And that's just part of getting started. The energy is real in here today, folks. Next one, we are going to bring on Miss Nightingale.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well in yourself.
I'm fine. I kind of just want to, I wouldn't say a testimony, but just tell you. So I'm retired military, meaning I had to do a lot of leadership training, With doing leadership training, I was introduced about maybe 15 years ago to a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
I was introduced to, and I know this is very familiar, J.P. Morgan.
Yep.
Andrew Carnegie.
Correct.
Henry Ford.
All of them.
All of them. And then I found out a book called The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes.
Which you just put me on to another one, so I'm going to. So to sum up everything of what I'm trying to say is, I have learned so much, and I have so much in me with all this leadership training, and I also studied up under John Maxwell.
Okay.
So my vision, ever since I was probably about 10 years old, because my mother's 33 years military leadership, I've always told, you're going to be a leader in this. So ever since I was a child, I wanted to have a leadership school, a school that teaches nothing but leadership. So in my statement of desire, this was years ago. I don't even remember how many years ago it was. I used to always say, I need the tools, I need the resources, I need the mentors, I need people who would come into my life and who would be able to give me what I don't have, or feed the knowledge to me of what I don't have, in order to keep on pouring into people of the principles of what I've learned. So I attended the Awakening. So guess who not in person, guess who inspired me? Mr. Smith. Then I looked you up. Guess what kind of school you got? So it's I'm like, okay, God, you showing out. Okay. I'm in the cannabis business, but that's not my first love.
Yes.
That's not my first love. My first love is leadership. My first love is school. So what I did when you said, I'm going to give these Think and Grow Rich classes, I said, you know what, you done learned the whole volume, because I read almost every last one of the Napoleon Hill books, Curiosity. And I said, you know what? It's never where you know too much that you can't learn from somebody else's perspective.
Yes.
So I say to you and your wife, thank you for having this course. Thank you for giving me another outlet of going through the principles. Again, I've learned this years ago, but you can always learn from someone else.
Yes.
On different perspectives of the actual principles. So I say all that to say is that fire of desire, that burning desire for me to want to open up my school has reignited. And I just want to say thank you to you and your wife. Thank you.
Definitely. And if we could be of any assistance, let us be. Definitely. You don't have to go too far. Yes, indeed. We're gonna go with Miss Judy next, and then we'll do one more after that.
Mute myself. How you doing, everyone? Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Claudiane, for having this platform. I just want to add to what Mr. Mario said about involving your children. I am testimony of that. Since starting this, I was like just reading out loud, you know, the book and stuff and the workbook with my daughter, and she's a love for soccer. So she loves soccer, and she's in middle school, and she wanted to go into her school to play, and she wanted to play outside, which outside would cost money. And I'm like, well, if you want to do it, you know, put your mind to it. Long story short, one day she came, and I think she was like literally in tears. She was like, Mom, you will never believe. And I'm like, what? She was like, a kid came to me and was like, Gabby, and she's like, how do you know me? He was like, they talking about you in high school. And she's like, what do you mean? And because she played before, close the door. And he was like, yeah, they want you to play when you leave middle school now. They want you to play in high school for the
Yes.
soccer team. And then a week later, a coach from our county, which is Norwalk, Connecticut, hit me up on email. He was like, is your daughter playing soccer this this season? We really want her. And I'm like, well, I really can't afford it right now. He said, don't worry about that. He said, and if she needs cleats, she's gonna get the cleats. And when I told her, like, she was almost crying, but you know, she was like this. She's like reading it and like entwined with me. And I'm like, you see, when we do the work, and she's like now she's really into it, but like she's still like in amazement, you know, which I should have had a sitter here with me, but she's downstairs doing other stuff. But I want to let you guys know what they're saying is true. Involve our children is so important, because when that desire comes into their heart, when my daughter told me, I was ready to cry, even though I believe it, but I was like, wow, I was so happy for her. Like, so she didn't only get into one game, she got into 2 games, and everything fully paid, shoes, everything, you know, like everything. So I am testimony of that.
Yes,
so I just
indeed.
wanted to say that.
Definitely. We love it. We love it. See, that's the energy flowing. We like to hear it, you know. Now we're gonna go to Miss Bespoke Lifestyle and Legacy. How are you today?
Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone. I am wonderful. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Okay. I know my name is, okay, this is my company's name on here. My name is Kinter, and I'm actually all the way in the West Indies in Grenada.
Okay.
And hey, my testimony is, you know, thank you, as everyone said, for this mastermind, because since we started, I've been saying my statement of desire every morning, every night, and I've been doing more. I'm a very intentional person, but it has become more heightened, you know?
Yes.
And what I do is real estate with the focus of citizenship by investment. So my clients are like in Middle East, China, Asia. They're looking for Caribbean citizenship via real estate. So that's what I do primarily, but my heart is mindset and showing women, especially everyone, but especially women, how we can create our most epic life using our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions, right?
Yes.
And I have been saying, you know, I wanted to get into the corporate world in terms of teaching personal development. And guess what? Since I've been more intentional every morning about my statement of desires and all of that, I have secured a personal development training. I'm doing it next Tuesday coming at one of the top legal firms on my island.
Wow.
And it's the first one. And I'm so grateful, because I know that's why, because I've been putting more energy, because you know, where focus goes, energy flows.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And another testimony is that I'm flying to Greece in about 2 weeks.
Oh.
And I've also been, I know it's crazy, but we know it's the formula. And I've also been asked to appear on local TV in Italy.
Oh,
so it's,
man.
you know, it's amazing. And it just goes to show that we can create our most epic life down to the most glamorous detail, down to whatever we want, as long as we put our minds, our feelings or actions into it. So I just want to
That's
encourage
deep.
everyone. I'm just a little Caribbean girl. And, as time go along, you hear my stories, but I came from nothing. And, now I'm able to travel the world and do what I love. It's
Yes.
really it just goes to show that intentional living and taking action is everything.
Definitely. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you
And
so much.
and one thing that I'd like to share with everybody, I was invited to speak on TED Talks maybe about 2 weeks ago. I didn't make it because it was such short of a time, but the guy texted me back the other night, said, I got 2 more slots left, right? He said, April 30th, and then there's one in September. I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that one in September. I'm getting ready to get on the stage, y'all, right? So it's just like, these things start to come out of nowhere. You stay
Awesome.
doing what you're doing, and these things are going to come. Like, I'm excited about it. I'm just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Here go the chance to get in front of these people. I'm getting ready to show my behind, right? And when I'm talking about that, it's thank you for allowing me to practice with you. I'm hype about that. Thank you for allowing me to practice with you guys, because the energy is real. As long as we follow these steps, it's going to happen. It's going to happen for us, right? So even going through the 369, I'm gonna see if I can remember this affirmation, y'all. It says, I am thankful for the universe aligning with me to attract $100 million into my bank account. I'm writing it every day. Let me see. I'm thankful for the universe aligning with me to attract $100 million in my bank account, bringing with it financial freedom, joy, and excitement, right? So in understanding, I'm saying that one too. I done put that one into action, right? So like, listen, I'm affirmed out, or affirmed in, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to keep saying them because I want you guys to keep saying them. I want to keep hearing your testimonies as we keep going, right? And I got my book stacked up over there every morning, noon, and night. So it's real. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to allow us to get to where we need to be. They're getting back on track. So understand this here. Eliminate those weak desires. Weak desires bring weak results. We don't want to think weak. We are not weak people, right? We have a strong mind. We have strong bodies. Continue to put it in action. That's going to help us get over the hump, right? Up until this point, what is your level of commitment? That's my question to everyone. What is your level of commitment? Are you all in? Are you halfway in? Or are you just spectating? You just come in here to spectate. I don't want to spectate it. I don't want any spectators. I want people that are going to be action driven, doing the work on themselves to get where they need to be. Try it out. Stay consistent with it. And it's going to work out. All you have to do is follow those steps. We're not asking you to pay no money. And actually, this is for you. So pay the money to yourself. Give yourself $1 or $2 every time you go through those affirmations or something. Come up with a system for yourself so that you can continue to grow. All right. Fortunes gravitate to people whose minds have been prepared to attract them. If we're not prepared to attract them, how is it going to come? What's happening now is we're preparing ourselves. All of these things that we say we want, we are preparing ourselves for them because we're asking the universe to provide them before us. Right? If you're weak in your persistence, surround yourself with a mastermind group is something that he stated. So if I'm weak in my persistence, I need to find people that are in my group that have that strong will and desire to push me in the direction that I need to be. My wife just bought me this because I keep it on my bathroom mirror, but this is a check I wrote to myself for $10 million. That was one of the things I've been asking for. Write yourself a check. Write yourself a check. You got a check? Write yourself a check. Write yourself a check. Get yourself paid, right? I told you, I paid myself, right? Pay yourself, but you got to do the work. Pay yourself because you're already walking into it. Go back to auto-suggestion, right? From the habit, and let nature hand over to your subconscious mind a clear picture of your desires. Auto-suggestion is the cornerstone of this philosophy. The cornerstone, repeating, affirming, right? Repeating, affirming, Do it, do it, do it. That's what this philosophy is about. It's about us continuing to repeat and affirm, but also working those other principles in there. And once we get into that stage, it allows us to have everything that we desire, folks. Continue to be moving in that direction. The subconscious mind works when we are awake or asleep. It works when we're awake or asleep, and it's really awake when we are sleeping. So that's why we want to suppress our subconscious mind with the information that we want. I'm telling you, I'm writing the 369 principle because I say my desire, but I'm writing that and I'm dozing off. But y'all say, you know what? I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done. I'm writing it. I'm writing it, and I can see scratches on my paper and all of that. But at the same time, I know that I'm going to get it done. I got to write it 12 times. I got to get it done. And then I wake up in the morning, say my prayer, then I'm gonna get down to that and write it 3 more times. But it's putting it into action. We have to take the necessary steps to put ourselves in position to win, right? You have to write it down. You have to say it. You have to be confident in what it is that you want to become and start walking in that way, folks. Start walking in that way. Apply the rules until they become a fixed habit. See, all we're doing over this time period is creating a habit. We're creating a habit and break some of the old habits that you have, right? You have to understand this here. In order to get to a new level, you got to let go of some of those other old things that don't belong in your life. You have to release some of the old things that don't belong in your life. The money consciousness must be created to order, right? When you go to these fast food restaurants, when you go to a restaurant, you create your food to order. You tell them how you want it. You tell yourself how you want to see your dreams and desires come to you. Without persistence, we will be defeated. We have to persist. That means if it doesn't happen right away, don't give up. You have to constantly push, and push more. If it's your desire, continue to push. If it doesn't mean anything to you, you can let that go easily. But if it's a sole desire of yours, if you've written it down, if you're determined to get that, continue to go. Continue to go. Without persistence, with persistence comes success. There is no substitute for persistence. Be persistent. Be persistent and consistent, right? We need all of those things to be in place. Persistence is the insurance policy against failure. So if you continue to persist, there are going to be little temporary failures, as Napoleon Hill calls it, right? But they're only temporary. The only time they become permanent is when we quit. And quitters never win, and winners never quit. Understand that. Each person must pass, and this Napoleon Hill talks about this, each person must pass the persistence test, right? I call those trials, right? Everybody's going to be tried. And through your trial, you have your testimony. Everyone is going to be tried on God's green earth. We're going to be tried and tested for the thing that we're asking for. You're going to go through the pits and valleys, but when you come out of it, you're going to see the heavens and the earths. So continue to push forward. Those who make and arrive at the goal, I just messed that up. Those who make it arrive at their goal. Those who continue to push forward, they arrive at their goal. But those who don't, those who quit, you fall short. We don't want to quit. This is what it's about. It's about inspiring every person to be better. You come here, this is what it's about. Let's get better every day. Every day I ask so that I can be a better person. Guess what? Some days are better than the other ones, but I'm always looking to be greater than yesterday. I'm always looking to be greater than yesterday. Think of every person that has come into success. They have had major obstacles. Every person has a story. Think about it. Every person that has come into some major success, unless they inherited the money, they had obstacles to go through. There will be obstacles, folks. If I tell you it's just going to be a smooth line, I'd be lying to you. I saw a picture of that where it says people think success is like this here, just going up the hill. No, it's going up the hill, coming down, doing a loop, hitting the valley, coming back up, going back down, going back up. Oh, I done caught fire now. Now I'm going straight up. Oh, I see what this thing about. So you got to understand what it is. It's not just a straight line. It's not a straight line. Persistence is a state of mind. We must have one, a definite purpose, a desire, a burning desire that we got to be self-reliant. I'm going through the stuff that's in the book. We have to have definite plans. We have to have accurate knowledge of what it is that we're doing. We have to have cooperation, cooperation, the help of others to get us where we're going. We have to have a strong willpower, right? A quick little story. We almost got denied our plans by fire. Me and my wife went up to that fireplace the next day. Hey, this is wrong. Hold on. Y'all, and guess what? The guys came out. They said they signed off on it. That was opening the school. Like, we ran into so many bumps and humps and things like that. It was just like, no, we won't be denied. And when you feel like you're being denied, you have to buckle up and say, you know what? No, let me put my big person clothes on. This is what we're going to do. I'm not accepting that. Don't accept it, right? Habit is the next one. Make it habitual of being persistent. What are the symptoms of lack of persistence? He went over those, and I'm almost finished, guys, so we don't keep you here that long, but symptoms of being not persistent. Some of these may resonate with you, and I hope they don't. But if they do, recognize it and get rid of it. Failure to define what you want. I don't know what. Ask any person. This is a test. I read this in the book too, but it's real. Ask any person. Ask about 50 people. Ask 20 people. What is it that you want in life? What is it that you want in life? Most people I just want to be rich. They don't know the definiteness of saying what it is that they want to become. You have to be definite. Draw it out in your mind, right? You don't have to get down to every detail, but draw it out in your mind, what it is that you want. You have not acquiring specialized knowledge. If you don't get the knowledge that of the field that you want to be in, then you need to either pay for that knowledge or team up with somebody that has that knowledge, right? To make those things happen. You have to have specific knowledge, or you're an investor. You say, you know what? I'm just going to invest in it, and you guys go ahead and take care of it. Be an investor at that point in time. But if you don't have the money to invest, you're going to have to gain some specialized knowledge in order to know what you're talking about when you go to people to ask them for money to help you out. All right. Relying on alibis, called making excuses. We know any people that make excuses all the time? Oh, they just didn't, they don't like me. Oh, they just, get away from those people. Run from those people, right? People that make excuses all the time, get away from those people because they have low vibration. Their energy is low, and you don't have time to spend with them trying to pick them up. Give them a little bit of information. If they understand it, they will grow. If not, they're going to try to bring you down and put their problems on you. We don't want to take the problems of others. We don't want to put people's problems on our shoulders. All right? Indifference. Bows out instead of fighting. Self-satisfaction. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm good right where I'm at. No, I'm not. I'm not good. I'm trying to climb the ladder every day. Every day. Keep climbing. Keep getting better. That's what that's about. Having weak desires. Blaming others for your mistakes. Stop putting the blame off on people for what you did. Why you ain't wake me up? Because you got your own time clock. Wake yourself up. If you really want it, this is something you say you want to do, get up and do it. Right? Stop blaming others for your mishaps. Don't put it off on others. Be willing to say, you know what? I messed up. I apologize. Apologize to yourself. Apologize to yourself for being sorry about that situation. You know what, self? I'm going to do better. I have to do better, and I'm going to get it done.
I am doing better.
Yes, indeed. Yes, you are. You are going to do a lot better. Definitely. Talk to yourself. That's what I'm talking about, right? Willing to quit when tested. Every person is going to be tested. You can't sit back and just think that it's just going to, if you don't do the work, all right? Understand that. Improper planning. or not planning at all, right? No one plans to fail. We just fail to plan. Let me say that again. No one plans to fail. We just fail to plan. Make a plan and run with it, right? Adjust as you go. As you continue to adjust, it's going to get better. Don't change the goal, change the plans. Not jumping on the opportunity when presented. A lot of opportunities come through us throughout the day. Take advantage of them when they come, right? I got another opportunity to get on TED Talks. I say, I'm going to take that opportunity and no one's going to stop me. I will be in Atlanta. I will be on stage and I will be talking to these people about what it is. What do you want to become? Who are you? I'm excited about it. I can already see it, right? I'm going to invite each and every one of you guys to come and see me, right? Because I would love the support. So we all can be jumping up and down. We all win. I win, we all win. Trust me. Not wishing instead of willing. I hope nobody's wishing instead of willing. Will your way. I will have it. Not I just wish the universe would just bring a wish. A wish sound like you struggling, but will your way to where you want to be. I will have it and it will come by way of me doing, right? Compromising with poverty. When we talk about compromising with poverty, that's saying, I came from a bad situation, so I just don't know. No, you do know. It's called work. It's called work. Put in the work. If we put in the work, it's going to happen for us. All right? Looking for shortcuts. There are a lot of people out here in the world that are looking for shortcuts. Take the long route. It may take a little longer, but it's going to be that much better. That way, and I always say this here, when you skip steps, you end up going back to make that last step anyway. Don't skip steps. Do it the right way. Do it how it's designed to do. Does anybody ever put something together and you try to skip a step and now you got to go back and take this thing loose again? And now, like, real simple. Those are universal principles. Don't skip the steps. Even if it takes you a long time, it's going to be worth it in the end. Trust that. All right. And the fear of criticism. Who gives a hoot about what everybody says about what you're doing? Right? They talked about all of the masters. They talked about everybody. So they're going to talk about you. You know what I call it? Because my wife may say, oh man, I don't see hate, but I say, you know what? People just, the higher you go up, people start throwing rocks at the throne. And rocks are pretty much their comments. Because some people don't want to see you win. They think you doing this, think you doing that. No. We are here minding our business, continue to move forward, right? I'm like this here. They saying what? I can't even engage in no conversations because I'm like a stallion. I got my blinders on and I'm keeping moving straight. So you have to understand, people are going to talk about you. They say they talked about Jesus Christ. They talked about Muhammad. They talked about every person that came into being a person of power, a person of influence. You will be talked about. So what? Don't give a hoot about what people say. Continue to move forward, right? The only break that anyone can afford to rely on is a self-made break, right? You make the break. Make the break for it by doing. Make the break for it by doing. And I ask you guys, ask people what they want in life. That's going to be huge. Just test it out. That's a test. Actually, and it's a test for us to come back next week. Ask five people, one a day. Ask 7 people, one a day. What is it that you want to do? And see what type of response you get back. Who do you want to be? What do you want to get out of life? Right? How to develop persistence. How to develop persistence. Number 1, how do we develop persistence? Persistence can be developed. Faith can be developed. Our self-confidence can be developed, right? All of these things can be developed. We just have to put in the time to do it. How to develop persistence. Number 1, having a definite purpose backed by a burning desire. Definite purpose backed by a burning desire. That is huge. Number 2, having a definite plan and putting it into action. What's the plan? Right? I'm gonna tell you, even the people that let's just say for the negative, even the people that rob banks, they have a plan. I'm gonna be honest with you. So here's the thing, you got to be grounded in this philosophy because you can use it for good or bad. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You could use it for good or bad. The people that are thieves, they come up with plans. They just have mastermind. They got good minds. They're just using it for the bad. Be honest with you. These people have beautiful minds. They just got to switch it over to the positive. Pretty much. Even the people that are robbing banks, they have a plan. Who's the getaway driver? Who's going in to hold the place up? Who's da-da-da-da-da-da, right? So you got to think, what's the plan for my goodness that I'm bringing to the world? What is the plan? Number 3, closed mind to negative influences and people. These negative influences are all around us, but we have to have this shield of positive energy that just walks through it, right? That understand that you can't touch me because I'm so grounded and rooted in what I'm doing that I'm going to win anyway. I want you to talk about me. That means that you're giving me that energy. I want you to say my name. That means that I'm going to take the negativity that you throw to me and I'm going to use it as fuel to get where I'm going. So I almost like for people to talk about me. When I played football, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I played football and the other team, they asking about who number 4 is, who that dude is. I got hype off of that. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna show you who number 4 is, right? When we get on this field. So let it fuel you, not bring you down. They talking about me. No, we're not doing that. Rise up to the occasion. Rise up to the occasion. Number 4, create a mastermind with 1 or more people who will help you follow through. This is how we develop persistence, because that one person, they're going to be on your back, right? Find somebody that's going to push you. Find somebody that's going to push you. It says 1 or more. And these are principles that come from the Bible. Now it's creating church. 2 or more gathered is we have in church, right? 2 or more gathered. So you need a partner, somebody to push you. Find somebody that's going to hold you accountable in all things. Guess what? And if you can hold them accountable as well. This is important to our growth. We want to see ourselves grow and get to the next level. Follow the steps. I'm not absent from them. I have to follow the steps. There are some things in this book that I haven't done that has allowed me to rekindle the flame to say, you know what? I got to get it done. But then again, I'm seeing the results. So this is where we are. Stay persistent and follow all of the steps of the book. It's asking of us. Persistence plus concentration of effort plus definiteness of purpose are the major sources of achievement. We got to understand, we got to be persistent. We got to have some type of concentration, some type of focus, a level of focus. Lock in. But that comes through meditation and just calming yourself down and being focused on it, what it is that you want to become and what you want to do, right? You already have a definite purpose, right? So understand with all of those things and elements that come together, those are the things that are going to help us get to where we need to be, family. Understand that. Hey, we are going to be wealthy in all ways, rich in all ways. Oh man, what you doing? This young lady has pulled up my highlight film from college. Oh yeah. So I was a dangerous player, but even with that, it was just I played with passion. I played with energy. I like same concept. So what I've learned to do is that same energy that I played with, you put it in everything else that you're doing. Don't play flat. Don't play dead. You want to be a power player on your team, right? And on your team, you don't have to be the best player, but you got to be a player of impact. You have to be a player of impact because it's going to impact your life. It's going to impact your life. Whatever it is that you want, go out and get. And understand that whatever you want, it wants you. We just got to continue working towards it. Listen, before we close out here today, it is a pleasure to be here with all of you guys here on these Sundays. I'm excited. I look forward to these Sundays. And in my mind, I'm already thinking when we come to the end of the book, what else do? We got to continue to press on because we've created a group that has a massive amount of energy that we can continue to inspire each other, right? So with that, it's about us continuing to elevate, continue to elevate. Write down what you want to get done for the week, and let's go out and accomplish it. As I close out, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I will demand of myself persistent, continuous, aggressive action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves into outward physical action, gradually transforming themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. I have clearly written a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. I fully realize that no wealth nor position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all of humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others will never help me to succeed. I will cause others to believe in me because I believe in them and in myself, right? Family, it's been real out here. It's been real. Listen, I look forward to next Sunday. Next Sunday, we're going through the next 2 chapters. Let me tell you what those 2 are. But continue to work, continue to outline, continue to highlight in your book, continue to grow. It's all about us doing it. And I promise you, it will show up for us. So next week, we have the power of the mastermind, and the mystery of sex transmutation, right? 2 great subjects, a mastermind group and how do we use our sex energy, right? How do we use that sex energy to get what we want, right? So understand that. I just want to thank you guys for being here, and I look forward to next Sunday. I love you guys. Have a wonderful week. Hey, let's go out. Let's continue to manifest. Let's continue to bring those things that we're talking towards us. And you guys have a great night. I appreciate you all. Yes. You guys have a great, wonderful week. Hey, love wins all the time, y'all. Hey, and you need your partner on board. Get your partner on board. It's only going to help collapse the time that much faster. I promise you guys. Continue to grow. Continue to grow.